Hello, this is Shelby from Silky Botanicals at the Mugwort Manor in Seattle. And I just wanted to capture the beauty of this pear apple tree. When it blooms, it feels like it's only blooming for maybe 2 weeks, and then the petals fly away in the wind. So I wanted to capture this. We have a big water tank that we are hoping to fill with water this weekend because it's going to rain. So yay! So we need to capture all the water we can before summer hits, and we have this rain catcher for here, the rain spout, and then we siphon it into this one. As you can see, my little rose garden is doing well. The roses are growing. We got a tulip, some forget-me-nots, bluebells, lots of dandelions. I have in this bed here lots of tulips, daisies. This is foxglove, sedum, a lot of yarrow, more daisies, some volunteer peas. This here is evening primrose. This is purple sage. We also have St. John's wort here, and comfrey here, and some beautiful bleeding hearts that have just bloomed, and mint here. And this hawthorn tree, this is, I believe, the second year that we've had it. It was very tiny, and we just kind of plucked it out of a roadside, and it's really liked it. No buds or flowers last year, and I don't see any this year, so maybe next year. But it's doing good, it looks good. And then for a garden, this bed last year was just kind of a mix of things, a lot of peas and lovage. And so this year we decided to do, this is all garlic, and this is onions on this side. So we're doing a bit of crop rotation. I believe these are chamomile. They're just volunteers. Same with this pea, it's a volunteer pea. These chards just volunteered to pop up, which I adore and love. Same with this kale. It's in bloom. The hummingbirds love the kale flowers. Here's some mugwort that's popping up. Lots of mugwort. forget-me-nots, which I love. Some mint here. Lots of mint. Here's a gooseberry. Look at these dainty little flowers. Isn't that gorgeous? We have 2 gooseberries and our black currant, which is just fabulous. And then to my right, we have peas, which are coming along nicely. We like to always, our main crops that we grow are garlic and onions, carrots, peas, and various types of kale and chard. We love our soup making veggies, and we're a little bit behind this year, but we're gonna get some tomatoes and potatoes in some pots. We have more kale here that's going into bloom. And I've had some questions like, how do you get your kale so big? Well, don't take them out. Let them keep growing. Some people say the leaves get really, bitter and hard and chewy once they go into flower. And a little bit, but I mean, just juice them, steam them. Tastes good to me. And yeah, let them go to flower, let their seeds drop, and you'll have volunteer kale starts. That's actually how we got all of these kales. The kale in this bed, I'll show you in a moment, they all came from these mother plants that just kind of popped up places, and now we have a full bed of beautiful kale. This is Russian kale. And chard, rainbow chard. So it's really cool. Just let things go. And then here we have carrots that are waiting to pop up. Let's see over here. This is our mugwort wall. This is all mugwort. Some tulips, dandelions, forget-me-nots, woodruff. Here's a pretty little bed. We got leeks and chives. This is lovage. They become huge, like 15 feet tall. I love it. Celery. More lovage. Lovage and celery are related. I would say celery is more potent tasting. Yes. You can use it as an herb, you can juice it, you can make a strong concoction or decoction, a strong infusion, basically a very strong tea, and you can soak your feet in it. It's really lovely. So this is all lovage. And then some celery here. And we planted 2 pears and an apple tree last year. And this pear is in bloom. So I love seeing that. And how do you know if it has been pollinated? Well, you see, let's see if the camera will show, but you see here how it's kind of just yellow, and the stamens are yellow on the tips and kind of even black. They're black. Well, those have been pollinated compared to these stamens that are pink. They have not been pollinated yet. So that's how you can tell if it's been pollinated. This is another volunteer, Russian kale. Here is our cold compost heap, and we'll throw our rabbit manure and hay here. Sticks, just organic rubbish. And now I'm getting a bunch of arugula pop up, kale. What else do I see in here? Yeah, a bunch of kale. Yesterday I saw, can't find it, I wonder if a little critter ate it. There was a nasturtium start, so that's pretty cool. And we actually, really cool, we had a morel pop up right there. I think a squirrel ate it. You can see where, there's my finger, right there, where it was a freaking morel. How dope is that? Yeah. So that's really cool. I didn't harvest it because what I found is, you know, harvest things from your garden, but the less you harvest, the more you'll get the next year. So I didn't harvest in hopes that there might be 2 morels next year. So we'll see. Here's the lilac tree. I believe it's a Italian lilac. I got 2 babies out of this so far, just runners kind of popping up, and I potted them and gave one to my mother and have the other one. And this was another corner of our compost pile here, and it's just riddled with kale. I mean, it's incredible. Do you see? I did plant a bunch of onions in here because I ran out of room in the garden bed, but like so much kale, which is awesome. I love volunteer plants. Got some more mugwort. The polytunnel needs a bit of work. Russian kale, sage. Over here is miner's lettuce. Delicate, beautiful, delicious little plant. And more lovage here. So that's cool. Yep, it needs a little bit of love. We'll get to that later. That's what's happening at the Mugwort Manor. Beautiful smelling rosemary and calendulas. Volunteers, of course, they're just reseed themselves so easily, which I love. I love being a lazy gardener and the plants doing the work. I'll show you real quick. Here's this. I think it's just gorgeous. This is all woodland violet. the purple violets have already bloomed. One of the first things that pop up in the spring. So we have woodland violet, some spearmint. This is woodland, blanking on the name, bleeding heart. And then we have some Allison bulbs popping up, which is cool because I planted them maybe 3 years ago and then they didn't pop up last year, but they're popping up this year. This is a grape above me. More woodland bleeding hearts. This is the native one. The other bleeding heart is not native, and they look more masculine, where I feel like this looks more feminine and just more elegant. Here's the other gooseberry right here. My teta, my Croatian aunt, gave me these starts of her bay leaf. This is not an English bay, this is the real bay that you can cook with. English bays, people plant them all the time, just like they plant grass, and English bay laurels are super invasive and they're non-native. These are also fast growers, but they're culinary, so you can use them, whereas the English laurel is poisonous. So I like to grow edible and medicinal things personally. Tulips, just more. This is my mint, and I've had questions of how do you get so much mint? Well, you know, don't harvest it all right away. Let it grow, and it'll become abundant. When it does get really tall, I will do a hack on it, usually around Lunasa, August 1st, because then it'll grow again. Take out the old to make room for the new. And then this is thyme. It smells so good. Here's a rose. It's a beautiful climbing rose. It's done really well. We transplanted it last year. I was worried I almost killed it, but it came back to life, thank goodness. Here is the moon glow pear. No buds on this pear, but I do like to see that there are leaves, so we'll see what happens. We shall see. Anyways, I hope everybody's having a beautiful day wherever they are. If you'd like to check out my website, purchase some products, you can go to silkybotanicals.net. Have a wonderful day, everyone. Thank you.